Hi Mansi, it's so nice to have you here today.
My pleasure.
I remember coming to you when I was 17, 18 and I had a bunch of like gut issues and bloating and this and that.
Correct.
And I remember you really helped me out. So Mansi here today is a registered dietitian. She's been working for 14 years. So what made you take this path?
Um, Whoever asked me this adds a lot of smile on my face. This is not from the textbook or a classroom. This is just in my kitchen where my mother used to prepare. My mother by itself, she's also food and nutrition student in past, and that
Yeah.
was one of the motivation for me to choose this as my journey. And that is one of my inspiration as my mother. I can say that.
Okay, so Mansi, if someone asked you what would a balanced diet look like, what would you recommend?
Anamika, balanced diet is a way of eating, adding food from all major food groups. Now,
Yeah.
if we say about the food groups, it has about the carbohydrate, protein, fats, vitamins, minerals, and fats, and or even water.
Yeah.
So, in school, we had studied about that food pyramid, if you remember.
Yeah.
The base was a carbohydrate, then vegetable, then the
Yeah.
protein, and then fats. That's
Yeah.
how the distribution was there. Now, if I have to ask you as an individual, how does your breakfast looks like or your lunch looks like? Can you brief me with that? I can.
It's mostly something like poha, upma.
Yeah.
Sometimes just like chana, chokke with toast. Very simple actually. Yeah.
Okay. So typically all our Indian houses has like a carb-based breakfast like a poha or
Yeah.
with a cup of chai or something. Now, if I have to balance, if I say like if to balance through the day like a breakfast, lunch, snacks and dinner. So tea with poha with a little bit of sprouts is a balanced meal kind of.
Yeah.
And the sprouts you can add like a little bit of a tomato, capsicum and those kind of vegetables. So and adding the fiber content as well.
Yeah.
So that way you can try to balance your breakfast.
Yeah.
Then comes like your lunch, which is Indian thali, looks like a roti,
Yeah.
dal, sabzi, curd. It's a complete meal.
Yeah.
So we are blessed with being a Indian and having a thali as a meal as such.
Yeah.
And so we'll try to have balance in each meal.
Yeah.
So once you start doing that, if you go to see a plate, the half of a plate should be fruits, vegetable and salad part, followed by 1/4 of a carbohydrate and another 1/4 can be a protein.
Okay.
So that way the distribution can be there. So if you overdo of a protein or overdo with a carbohydrate, that's also not okay.
Okay.
So it should be well distributed.
But nowadays people are so obsessed with the idea of protein and protein bars and all of that. What are your views on protein bars and things like that?
So protein bars is like a filler. So now with a fast-paced life, we are not able to meter and something
Yeah.
which should be very handy, it should be very messy. Then protein bars are kind of options as such because it's easy to manage first of all,
Yeah.
and it's giving you 20 grams of a protein. So if individual is about 60 kg body weight and he needs to meet his protein requirement through the day,
Yeah.
so this is how he can meet about 10 grams of protein just by eating like a bar rather than having like kurmura or just like a sandwich. This protein bar would be better.
Would be better.
As a filler or maybe evening snack as such.
Yeah. But do you think there's scams like they have a lot of sugar, or do you think it depends on the
There
protein
is something
bar?
like a protein bars, there is something like a granola bars also. So granola bars would be more of sugar, and even in the protein bars there are some amount of sugar as well. But you have to read label well. Like beyond 15 grams of sugar should not be okay.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And what do you think about like caffeine consumption? All of us are today living on chai, we're living on coffee. Speaking as someone who myself has a lot of caffeine. So do you think that has an impact?
Back then,
on
I
your
remember
gut?
consulting you, and
Yeah.
I was like, Anamika, how many cups of tea or coffee? And you said about 3 to 4
Yeah.
minimum. So in that case, the first thing I would recommend that do not start your day with a cup of tea or coffee because it's dehydrating and it's always acidic also because caffeine creates acid in your system as such. So at least 2 cups a day is maximum what you can have.
Okay. And do you think it has an impact on the gut?
Absolutely, it does.
It does.
So if I have to recommend tea or coffee first in the morning, I would suggest just start with a cup of water and then you begin with a tea or coffee. At least
Okay.
that way it can be modified as such.
Okay, so Mansi, one major issue that I have, and I think all my friends have when they come home, is at night at 1 a.m. and at 2 a.m. you're Zomatoing in like a pizza, you're Zomatoing in like fries and stuff like that. So what do you feel about that? What effect do you think midnight snacking has?
But why were you were chilling or what were you doing?
Chilling, you're watching a movie or you're reading a book and you just end up ordering food.
But did you had good enough dinner or it's just like that or you were awake till late night you were feeling like
Awake
that?
till late night. So if you've had your dinner at say 8:39, then again by 1, 2ish you're peckish again.
Yeah. So what time you go off to bed, if I can ask you?
So sleep is an issue, I think, not before 12:31 for sure.
Okay. And there are times you are awake till 2 or 3 and
Yeah,
then
absolutely.
and something you want to munch before sleeping for
Absolutely, yeah.
sure. Yeah. And this is often or it's just happen like that?
It's at least 2-3 times a week. Like
Really?
2-3 times a week, yeah.
And what time you wake up then?
I wake up by 9:30 irrespective.
Okay.
But the issue is more with ordering in fries or pizzas or whatever.
Okay. So these are your comfort food as
Comfort
such.
food, yeah.
So if I give you the tips, what can the things you can off from your within your house
Yeah.
would be like you can try keeping like a hummus dips or a pesto or a salsa or those kind of a dips, and having with a cracker would be better choices rather than ordering from Zomato or Swiggy.
Swiggy.
One of that, and simple thing is as simple as like a cup of milk or maybe just having like a milkshake is also a better choice.
Yeah.
That we are saving like a carb, cheese, butter, or at least from the pizza and fries. Those are the things which you can do it from your kitchen itself.
Yeah.
And second, I would say identify your problems. It was just for the sake of doing it, or you were just sabotaging your emotions, or just wanted like a compulsive, I want to do it
Yeah.
just because I want to be feeling happy about it.
Yeah.
Then
So
if
do you
it's
think
happening 2 to
emotional
3
eating
times a
is
week,
true?
yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
And that could be one of the reason of weight gain or feeling discomfort or gassy, bloating can be one of
yeah.
them, because there is no system of biological clock in terms of eating.
Yeah.
Sometimes you overeat, sometimes undereat. There is no proper timing of eating
Yeah.
as such. So if your timing of meal is also well distributed, then it's better.
Then it's better. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not always about what you eat, but how you eat also matters, and when you
Okay.
eat.
And when
so
you eat.
diet, if someone tells me it's only about eating, I would say it's about the time, portions, and combination of nutrients, and how you eat.
And how you eat.
Like if you are eating too fast or drinking too much water with it, or you are just drinking rather than chewing wala foods,
Yeah.
like a soft diet, like khichdis you have most of the days, then you're not satisfied all the time.
Yeah.
So you would need something very chewy stuff also at times.
Yeah.
So these are the reasons you might.
And what
be.
are like daily snacks one can add which are healthy but also like taste really nice?
Snacking.
Snacking.
I would suggest like of course makhanas are great, but you add like a makhana chaat to it. Like you can add tomato, raw mangoes, and coriander, and make it as like a proper chaat. So you're adding a fiber also.
Yeah.
So it's just not an air kind of a thing. So then followed by you can add like a shing chana, like a roasted chana with the peanuts. Again with the tomato. I would suggest everything with some kind of vegetables makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
So even if I say khakra, so khakra ke upar chutney, tomato, salad and all that, a khakra sandwich you can have it. So rather than having like a bread, you can swap it with that.
With that, okay.
Okay. So those are the one things. These are the snacking which you can buy from your market and your stores, and then you can keep it in your house.
Okay.
Popcorn is also great.
Popcorn's actually yum. Yeah.
Yeah. But you can avoid like caramelized and salted base are better. And you can avoid caramelized or a cheese popcorn as such.
Okay.
So, but again with the popcorn, with the salt, you keep on eating a lot.
Yeah.
So you can prevent that.
Prevent that. Okay. So Mansi, recently I was at a friend's place and she was popping around 8 to 9 supplements. And she's like, this is what her dietitian recommended.
Okay.
But what do you recommend? Do you think supplements are needed in one's diet, or do you think it can be done through food?
So Anamika, in this case, like I believe in balanced diet a lot. Food has its power. Food is medicine in its disguise. So I will try to add nutrients by itself in plate itself. But if in certain situation, like you have a major deficiency of B12, D3, which is widely available these days. Secondly, someone who really need in certain milestone, like a pregnancy, or it's someone who is in the menopause or certain kind of situation like that, may definitely require supplementation as such.
Yeah.
Thirdly, if someone is like an athlete or who is a sports person, then we require that.
Yeah.
Someone like who is a geriatric, like who is old woman or old man who's not meeting that protein requirement, so we can add like a supplementation because they need to maintain their muscle mass also. So that way. So
That
there are
way, okay.
requirements according to situations. It's a backup plan.
So it's basically
not
very subjective.
It's subjective. It's
Okay.
not like we have to give every individual or a client come to us. It depends on the situation.
But is 7 to 8 supplements a lot, according to you?
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
It's quite a
But
bit.
maybe certain situations she would have, or maybe certain conditions that she might be having, like gut issues or a constipation or a depression or something like that, or maybe a lot of reasons could be there.
Yeah.
But in that case, we have to evaluate it and then take a decision about it.
Okay, got it.
But if I plan my diet chart, I will try to enhance my nutrition plate so much in terms of certain herbs, like or certain like complete meals as such, that will be better in there.
In that
Yeah,
case,
yeah.
okay, got it. So, Mansi, this was a very insightful conversation. I think I myself had a bunch of questions related to midnight snacking and protein and all of that, because Instagram is so full today of reels and different fads and all of that. So, I'm glad you could burst some myths.
My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Most welcome.